You think you can afford that new home, but hidden fees are quietly draining your bank account before you even move in. Beyond your mortgage, a web of PID fees and escalating tax rates could cost you thousands of dollars every year. Let's break down the invisible costs you must know before purchasing a home here in San Antonio, Texas. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese Dame. I'm your local San Antonio realtor. My team and I help people just like you buy, sell, and relocate every single day across this incredible city. Today, we're talking about the things that rarely make it onto Zillow listings when you're taking a look at what your monthly payment may be. It's going to be those hidden monthly costs that catch buyers off guard and that most have no idea about until they talk with a realtor. If you want to learn more about these invisible costs before you look into purchasing your home, stay tuned for the rest of this video. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the big one. It's going to be property taxes. This is going to be probably the one most people are familiar with, the additional cost of it all. Everybody knows, or most people know, I should say, here in Texas, there isn't a state income tax, which is wonderful. However, the city does have to get its money from somewhere. So property taxes are here. Throughout the San Antonio metro, property taxes can change drastically, even just from crossing the street, but especially from neighborhood to neighborhood. A lot of master plan communities have different tax rates as well, and this is something that doesn't normally show up on Zillow listings. So let's go ahead and break down what I'm talking about and how this could affect your monthly payment. A lot of out-of-state buyers or movers that are just coming into San Antonio take a look at Zillow, and it gives you that estimated monthly payment that we are all so familiar with. You see a house you really like and you see that it's $2,500 a month, and you're like, oh yeah, of course I can do that, no problem. However, what most people don't know is that Zillow is automatically plugging in a 1% to 2% tax rate, which is not applicable to San Antonio. Here in San Antonio, we have around a 2.1 to 2.9% tax rate, depending on the community and neighborhood. So here I just want to show you what I'm talking about specifically. As you scroll down, we see this listing here in San Antonio. As you scroll down, it's going to give you this estimate right here, and especially, specifically, I should say, for property taxes, this is the section that it gives you. It's going to estimate this as being your monthly payment. It's automatically going to plug in this 2.08% tax rate, and this is what it's going to be calculated to be for a year. This is not accurate. This is just an automation. If you go over to your CAD, if you're unfamiliar with what this is, please reach out to me. I would love to help walk you through what I'm talking about in specifics. But as you can see, this is public information for this property. This is going to be the total tax rate. This is going to be the estimated taxes with exemptions, such as a homestead exemption, and this is going to be the estimated taxes without exemptions. This number drastically differs from this number right here. This is why it's important to be careful and work with somebody that you trust whenever you're taking a look at these monthly fees. Like I just said, the San Antonio area typical tax ranges from 2.1 to 2.9% of your total assessed home value. That's going to be comprised of county tax, city tax, hospital district, and probably the largest, the school district. I'm going to put up a graphic right here showing an example of a $400,000 house and just the differences between the two costs. This could be your car payment, your grocery bill, some other monthly payment that you're not accounting for, and it's something that definitely should not be overlooked whenever you're looking to purchase a home. If you ever want me to run a true effective tax rate for the dream home you're looking for in San Antonio, please feel free to grab my contact information below and reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out to avoid these hidden costs. Now, let's talk about the three-letter word that sends shivers down buyers' spines. In all seriousness, whenever buyers get their closing paperwork and they see PID and the fee associated with that, and they're not familiar with what that means, Typically, it can cause a scene. PID stands for Public Improvement District. Where did this happen? What does this mean? Typically with new master planned communities, such as a lot of the communities on the west side I've covered, on the north side, actually all over San Antonio, even into the suburbs like Bernie and Bulverde, they will tack on this fee with it's like an HOA fee, it's like an additional tax rate that you'll have to pay every month. When a developer wants to build a new community, they want to put in paved roads, infrastructure, the community amenities that we see a lot of the times, like pools, playgrounds, all of that good stuff. And instead of the developer just paying for that all out of their pockets, the city allows them to issue a bond to help pay for it, as well as the upkeep of the community. So as you can imagine, you're probably wondering who pays these bonds off. Well, that would be you. As a buyer, a special assessment fee is attached to your monthly payment, and the fee is going to show up on your property tax bill for quite some time, possibly 20 to 30 years. It's not an HOA fee, it's not a standard property tax, it's an additional line. I've also seen in some of the master plan communities here, their overall property tax rate will be higher because it will include this specific percentage included into the tax rate. As we've been talking about PID, I might have made it sound negative, but technically it's not a bad thing. If you're thinking about the community, the up maintenance, new ideas and things that are going to be implemented to make the community whole, it's actually a really good thing. And for a small fee, you could have resort style pools, hiking trails, paved roads, all within this beautiful community. However, I always like to make my buyers aware of it so you don't find out about this fee on your closing day. While we're on the subject, you'll probably also hear people talk about MUDs or MUD, municipal utility districts. There are strong differences between these two things, which I'm going to put up right here, break it down for y'all so you can understand. Like we just talked about, PIDs, public improvement districts, are an assessment fee that essentially is going to help take care of paved roads, hiking trails, resort-style pools, amenities within the community. It's fixed, and you can technically pay it off early if you have a lump sum of cash. A MUD, municipal utility district, it's basically its own local mini government that provides utilities like water, sewer, and drainage, and it's billed as a tax rate that fluctuates over time. When we work together to tour homes, I'll double check all of these tax rolls. Not every community is located within a MUD, but it's always something to double check and be aware of. And remember, we don't want any surprises, so this is why I do my due diligence to make sure that everything is in your knowledge. Besides property taxes, PIDs, and MUDs, there are a couple of other monthly fees that you might not be aware of, and that definitely won't be included in that Zillow estimate. The first one are HOA fees. I just wanted to pop in again and take a look at Zillow and show you what I'm talking about in terms of the HOA fees being off. This is going to indicate that it's going to be $90 a month for this specific property, for this community. As we look on the listing, it's going to say that it's $271 that it's paid out quarterly. Even though the math does add up with it being $90 a month, it's paid out quarterly, which is something, in my opinion, is important to note. Maybe useful in terms of setting aside money. However, this is just not accurate in terms of how it's paid. Doesn't include the transfer fee, anything like that. So another reason why it's important to do all of this double checking when you're purchasing a property. Some San Antonio neighborhoods can have $20 HOA fees that basically just pay for them to mow the entry sign. Others can have upwards to $150 to $300 to maintain the community with gated guards, pools, and tennis courts. It's always important to check what's included and ask if there are any special assessments for major repairs. Also, there are homeowner insurance costs that you may not be aware of. Whenever we're going through real estate school, we're taught, which I'll teach you, that monthly payments are broken down into what we call PITI. It's going to be your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. Of course, this may not apply if you are paying cash for your home. You're not going to have interest on your home, but typically, if you're taking out a loan, this is how your monthly payment is going to be broken down. Therefore, you'll have homeowners insurance. It's important to get homeowners insurance quotes ahead of time. Texas typically has storms, hail, all of that wonderful stuff here, especially in San Antonio, that comes with just living in Texas. So, always want to make sure to account for homeowners insurance as well. Another hidden fee that you may not think of is going to be utility spikes. Here in Texas, you could get an estimate for your utilities, specifically your AC bill, which is going to fluctuate highly in the summertime. Even just myself living here, we like it cold in the house, and it definitely increases during the summer. So it just depends on where you live. Of course, all of the insulation and all of that good stuff with the home, but just be prepared for utility spikes as well. Of course, every transaction is different and every home is different, and there very well could be even more fees that you might not know about that Zillow won't tell you about, which is why it's so important to work with a realtor who's going to be transparent the entire way through. At the end of the day, buying a home in San Antonio is one of the best investments you can make. Our economy is thriving, our culture is unmatched, and we have incredible communities. But you need to go into the process with your eyes wide open. If you're planning a move to San Antonio or its surrounding areas and you want to work with somebody who's going to help you keep your eyes wide open, do the digging, and be transparent all the way through, please feel free to give me a call, text, or email days, nights, and weekends. I'd love to help. All of my contact information is going to be linked below in the description. Don't forget to like this video if it brought you any value. Subscribe to my channel for weekly videos similar to this. This is a little bit of a different video. Normally I do master planned community tours instead of these sit down kind of informational, educational videos. Leave a comment down below. Is this something you liked? Is this the content we're looking for? Or would you like me to go back to my master plan community tours? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.